Paris, February 1953. Young fashion designer waiting in his atelier, Hubert de Givenchy. 25 years old, ambitious, nervous. The telegram said, Hepburn coming for Sabrina costumes. Hepburn, Katharine Hepburn, Hollywood legend. This could make his career. The door opens. A young woman walks in. Givenchy's heart sinks. This is not Katharine Hepburn. The woman is young, maybe 23, 24 years old, thin, very thin, almost fragile looking, short dark hair, pixie cut, not fashionable in 1953. Women wear their hair long, curled, styled. This is boyish, unusual. She wears simple clothes, black sweater, black pants, ballet flats, no jewelry, no makeup, or very little. She looks like a dancer, or a student, not a movie star, not Katharine Hepburn. Givenchy's heart sinks. Where is Katharine? Who is this girl? She speaks. Her voice is soft, gentle, accented. British, but with something else underneath. Dutch, perhaps. She says, Monsieur Givenchy, I am Audrey Hepburn, from Paramount. I am here about Sabrina. Hepburn. Audrey Hepburn. Not Katharine. Audrey. Givenchy has never heard this name. Who is Audrey Hepburn? Some unknown actress? Some bit player Paramount sent instead of the real star? He feels disappointment. Heavy disappointment, not just mild annoyance. Real disappointment. He cleared his entire morning for this. Cancelled other appointments. For Katharine. For someone important. Someone who could make his career. And they sent this unknown girl. This child, who looks like she just came from dance class. Who probably does not even have money to pay for haute couture. His mind races, calculating. He is too busy for this. He has clients. Real clients. Important women. French actresses like Michelle Morgan. Socialites like the Duchess of Windsor. Women who matter. Women with money. Women with influence. He does not have time to make costumes for some unknown American actress in a film that might never be seen. That might go straight to bottom of double bill. That might disappear without trace. Look at her, so thin, painfully thin. No curves, no Hollywood glamour, hair too short, face too unusual, those enormous eyes too big for her face, eyebrows too thick, mouth too wide. She does not look like movie star. She looks like waif. Like refugee, like someone who needs good meal more than designer dress. The practical voice in his head says, this is waste of time. Send her away politely. Tell her your schedule is full. Recommend another designer, someone who has time for unknown actresses, someone who is not trying to build reputation with Katharine Hepburn. Send her away now before you waste entire morning. He almost says it, almost tells her, I am sorry, mademoiselle. I am too busy. Perhaps you can come back another time, when I have more availability. Perhaps next month or next season. The words are on his lips, ready, rehearsed in his mind. Polite but firm, he is about to send her away, to save his morning, to wait for call from real Katharine Hepburn, to waste no more time on this mistake, this mix-up, this unknown girl. But something stops him. He looks at her again. Really looks. Her face. There is something about her face. The eyes. Large eyes. Brown. Doe eyes. They have depth, intelligence, kindness. Not the hard eyes of most actresses he has met. Not calculating, not performing, just honest. Looking at him with hope, with nervousness, with vulnerability. Her posture. She stands with perfect ballet posture, shoulders back. Neck long, head balanced, grace and stillness. Not the posed elegance of actresses trying to look elegant. Natural elegance, born elegance, the kind that cannot be taught. Her hands, long fingers, delicate. She holds them clasped in front of her. A nervous gesture. She is nervous. This unknown girl is nervous meeting him. A designer nobody outside Paris knows. That tells him something. She cares. She takes this seriously. Givenchy hesitates. His practical mind says, send her away. You are too busy. But something else, some instinct, some sense that fashion designers must have. The sense that sees beyond the surface. That sense says, wait, look closer. Something is here. He says, please, sit down, tell me about the film. Relief crosses her face. She sits, not collapsing into the chair like most people. Sitting with grace. With control. Ballet training obvious. She tells him about Sabrina, chauffeur's daughter. Falls in love with rich man, goes to Paris, transforms, returns sophisticated, elegant. It is a fairy tale, a Cinderella story. Billy Wilder directing. William Holden and Humphrey Bogart as the men. Givenchy listens. His interest grows, not the film. He does not care much about American films, but watching her tell the story. The way she describes Sabrina. The way her voice softens when she talks about transformation. About a girl who discovers elegance. Who discovers herself. She says, Sabrina goes to Paris. She learns about fashion, about style. She becomes someone new, not because she is wearing beautiful clothes, because she discovers who she was meant to be. The clothes just help her see it. Givenchy leans forward. This girl understands. She is not talking about costumes, not about pretty dresses to look good on camera. She is talking about fashion as transformation, as identity, as becoming. This is what he believes, what he designs for, not decoration, revelation. He says, what do you want to wear in the film? She pulls out pages, sketches, simple drawings, nothing professional, but clear. She has thought about this. She shows him, simple black dress, bateau neckline, sleeveless, slim silhouette, nothing fussy, nothing complicated, just clean lines, pure form. Givenchy stares at the sketch. This is his aesthetic. Exactly his aesthetic. He designs clothes that subtract, that remove everything unnecessary, that find elegance through simplicity. And this unknown girl, this Audrey Hepburn, she drew his philosophy without knowing it. He says, this is not what Hollywood usually wants. She says, I know, but it is what I want. What Sabrina needs. She does not become elegant by wearing complicated clothes. She becomes elegant by understanding simplicity. Givenchy feels something shift. This is not a client. This is not an actress looking for costumes. This is someone who understands, who speaks his language, who sees what he sees. He stands, walks to his fabric shelves, pulls out black silk. Simple, beautiful. He drapes it over a dress form, begins to see the dress, not in his mind, in the room, taking shape, simple, elegant, perfect. He says, we will make this dress, not as a costume, as fashion, real fashion. She smiles, not a Hollywood smile, practiced, performative, a real smile, grateful, excited, nervous. She says, thank you. Thank you for seeing it. For the next 3 weeks, Givenchy and Audrey work together. She comes to the atelier, stands for fittings, not complaining, not demanding, just patient, graceful. They talk about Paris, about fashion, about transformation. He learns her story. Ballet training as a child, Netherlands during the war, hunger, survival, moving to England, struggling. Then Hollywood found her. Roman Holiday, not released yet, but she is the star. She will be famous soon, very soon. He learns she is not unknown. She is about to become everything. And she chose him, this young French designer, because she understood his work, because she saw what he was trying to say with clothes. The dress is finished. Simple black dress, bateau neckline, sleeveless, slim silhouette. No decoration, no embellishment, just perfect cut. Perfect proportion? Perfect simplicity? It is not a costume. It is a statement. Elegance is not complication. Elegance is clarity. Sabrina is released September 1954, 18 months after their first meeting. Audiences see Audrey in the black dress. The transformation scene. Sabrina returning from Paris. The dress causes sensation. Not because it is flashy, because it is simple. Women want it. They want to look like that. Clean, elegant, modern, not fussy, 1950s housewife. Something new, something fresh. Fashion magazines notice. Who designed that dress? Givenchy. Who is Givenchy? Young French designer. He dressed Audrey Hepburn, this unknown girl who is suddenly everywhere. Roman Holiday won her an Oscar, March 1954, 7 months before Sabrina. She is America's new darling, and she wears Givenchy. But this is not the end. This is the beginning. Audrey comes back, not for another film, for her life. She says, I want you to design for me, not just films, everything, my whole wardrobe. No actress has done this before, not in 1954. Actresses wear costumes in films. Then they wear whatever their studios tell them to wear. But Audrey is different. She wants one designer, one vision, one aesthetic. She wants Givenchy to dress her completely, to make her entire life his canvas. Givenchy says yes, not because she is famous now, because he understands. This is not business. This is artistic partnership. She sees what he designs. He sees who she is. Together they create something neither could create alone. The partnership becomes legendary, not just designer and client, something deeper. He designs, she wears, but more than that, she embodies his vision. He understands her essence. She is his muse. He is her artist, but also friends, family. She calls him Hubert. He calls her Audrey. No formality, just affection. 1957. Funny Face, Paramount Film. Fashion photographer movie. She plays model. He designs entire wardrobe, not just key dresses, everything. Film becomes love letter to fashion, to Paris, to elegance, to their partnership. 1961. Breakfast at Tiffany's, the dress. Little black dress, sleeveless, long black gloves, pearl necklace, tiara. Audrey standing in front of Tiffany's window. Morning, eating pastry, looking at diamonds, becoming icon. That dress becomes most famous dress in cinema history. Not because it is complicated, because it is perfect, because Audrey wears it, because Givenchy designed it, because they understood together what elegance means. The impact is immediate. Women everywhere want that dress, want to look like that. Simple, elegant, modern, accessible, not costume for movie star, template for real life. Every woman can wear simple black dress. Every woman can aspire to that elegance. Givenchy made it. Audrey embodied it. Together, they democratized elegance, made it achievable, made it real. Fashion industry notices, this is revolution. Before Breakfast at Tiffany's, haute couture was for wealthy elite. Complicated gowns, expensive fabrics, unattainable for normal women. After Breakfast at Tiffany's, fashion becomes aspiration. Simple dress, clean lines, something you can actually wear, something you can actually buy, something that makes you feel elegant without being costume. Department stores start copying the dress. Thousands of versions. Every price point, from expensive to affordable. Every woman can have her Audrey dress, her Givenchy moment. That is true legacy, not dressing the rich, making elegance democratic, making beauty achievable. The dress is auctioned decades later, 2006. Christie's, New York, sells for $923,187. Nearly $1 million. Not just a dress, symbol of era, of elegance, of partnership between designer and muse, of moment when fashion changed forever. But their relationship goes beyond fashion, beyond films. Audrey's life changes. She marries Mel Ferrer, 1954, has son Sean, 1960. Marriage struggles. 1968 divorces. Marries Andrea Doty, 1969. Has second son, Luca, 1970. Marriage struggles again. 1982 divorces. Through all of it, Givenchy is there. Not as designer, as friend, as brother. She comes to Paris. They have dinner. They talk. Not about clothes, about life, about pain, about joy, about being human. 1980s. Audrey's priorities shift. She is done with Hollywood mostly. Few films now. Last major film is Always. Steven Spielberg, 1989. She plays Angel, fitting role. She looks ethereal, angelic. But her heart is not in acting anymore. Her heart is elsewhere. Her focus changes. UNICEF, United Nations Children's Fund. She becomes Goodwill Ambassador, 1988. 59 years old. Most actresses at 59 are fighting to stay relevant. Audrey walks away from relevance, chooses meaning instead. She travels to Ethiopia. 1988. Famine, dying children. She holds babies, starving babies. Cameramen want her to pose. Look at camera. She ignores them. Focuses on the baby. Gives it water. Speaks softly. The baby does not know she is famous. The baby knows she is kind. That is what matters. To Somalia. 1992. War, starvation, disease. She visits refugee camps, walks through makeshift hospitals, touches sick children, sits on dirt floors. No makeup, no glamour, just Audrey. Real Audrey. Woman who understands hunger, who was child during war, who survived starvation. Who knows what these children feel? To Sudan, to Bangladesh, to Vietnam, to Guatemala, to El Salvador. Everywhere there is suffering. Everywhere there are children. She goes, she witnesses, she speaks. Not for publicity, because she has to. Because staying silent when children die is impossible. Because once you see suffering, you cannot unsee it. You must act. You must try. Even if you are just one person, even if you cannot save them all. You can save some. You can try. Givenchy supports this. He dresses her still, but different now. Not glamorous gowns. Simple clothes. Elegant, but practical. White shirts, simple dresses, comfortable pants. She needs to travel, to work, to sit on dirt floors with dying children. She cannot do that in haute couture. She needs clothes that work, that last, that do not distract, that let her do the work. He understands. He never questions. He never says, "But Audrey, you are fashion icon. You must maintain image." He knows. Image does not matter. Work matters. Children matter. Saving lives matters. He just creates what she needs. Always what she needs. Because that is what real designer does. Serves the person. Not the image, not the industry. The actual human being and what they need to do their work in the world. Their friendship deepens. 40 years, 1953 to 1993. 4 decades. She is not his only client. He dresses other women, other actresses, socialites, royalty. But Audrey is different, special, his sister in art, his partner in elegance, his friend in life. 1992. Audrey feels sick. Stomach pain, she ignores it, keeps working. UNICEF trip to Somalia, September 1992, returns exhausted, pain worse, finally sees doctors. November 1992. Surgery, colon cancer, advanced, inoperable, maybe months, maybe a year, not more. Givenchy hears the news. He is devastated, but he does not fall apart. He visits Switzerland, Audrey's home in Tolochenaz, small village, Lake Geneva. She has lived there years, found peace there, now dying there. He sits with her. They talk. not about the past, about now, about gratitude. She says, Hubert, you gave me more than beautiful clothes. You gave me confidence. You showed me elegance could be simple. You were my friend when I needed friends. You never asked for anything except that I be myself. That was your gift. He says, Audrey, you are the one who gave. You showed me that fashion is not about clothes. It is about the person who wears them. You made my designs alive. You made them matter. You were not my client. You were my inspiration, my sister, my family. They cry together, not from sadness only, from gratitude for 40 years, for partnership, for friendship that transcended business, for love that was not romantic, but was real. December 1992. Audrey's condition worsens. She knows the end is coming. She asks Givenchy for one last favor. She wants him to design something for her funeral. She wants to look elegant one last time. She wants people to see her the way he always saw her. Beautiful, simple, grace. Givenchy designs the dress. He cries while designing it. Simple cut, pale pink, her favorite color. Clean lines, no fuss. Perfect elegance. He sends it to Switzerland. He cannot imagine her wearing it. Cannot imagine world without Audrey. January 20th, 1993. Morning, Switzerland. Audrey Hepburn dies, surrounded by family. Her sons Sean and Luca. Robert Wolders, peaceful death. She is 63 years old, too young, but she lived fully, loved deeply, made difference. January 24th, 1993. Funeral, Toloshanaz Village Church. Small service, family, close friends. She is buried in the cemetery. Simple grave. She wears the pink dress Givenchy designed. His final gift, her final elegance. Givenchy does not attend funeral. Cannot. The grief is too much, the loss too large. He stays in Paris, alone in his atelier, looking at sketches. 40 years of sketches. Audrey wearing his designs, Audrey being his muse, Audrey being his family. Now she is gone. He continues working. He has to. Work is how he processes grief, how he honors her. He designs, he creates. But something is different. Something is missing. She was his North Star, his reference point. When he designed, he thought, would Audrey wear this? Would Audrey love this? Now he designs, and that voice is silent. He retires from Fashion House 1995, 2 years after her death. He is 68 years old, could work more years. But the passion is different now. The joy is complicated. He wants to rest, to remember, to honor her memory by living well, not by producing more clothes. He gives interviews, talks about Audrey, always about Audrey. People ask, what was special about dressing Audrey Hepburn? He says, everything. She was special in every way. But what people do not understand is that she made me special. She made my designs matter. She made elegance seem achievable. She showed that beauty is not about complication. It is about truth, about being yourself. She wore my clothes, and they became her, not costume, not fashion. Her. Interviewers ask, what was your favorite moment with Audrey? He says, the first moment, February 1953. When she walked into my atelier, and I almost sent her away because I thought she was nobody. That moment taught me everything. That talent recognizes talent. That elegance has nothing to do with fame or money or status. That sometimes the person who looks like nothing is everything. I almost missed her. I almost missed 40 years of joy because I was looking for someone famous instead of someone real. That first moment. I think about it every day. Interviewers ask, did you love her? He pauses, always pauses, then says, yes. But not the way you mean. I loved her as sister, as friend, as artistic partner, as person who understood me, who never judged, who was always honest, who made me better. That kind of love, the deepest kind, the kind that is not about possession or desire, about recognition. She saw me, I saw her, we saw each other completely. That is love, the truest love. 2018, March 10th. Givenchy dies. Paris. He is 91 years old. Lived long life, successful life, created fashion empire, dressed generations of women, became legend. But the obituaries all mention Audrey. Cannot write about Givenchy without writing about Audrey. Cannot separate them. Designer and muse, artist and inspiration, friend and friend. Fashion historians study their partnership, write books, make documentaries, try to explain what made it special, what made it legendary. They analyze the dresses, the designs, the aesthetic, the impact on fashion. They count the films, Sabrina, Funny Face, Love in the Afternoon, Breakfast at Tiffany's, Charade, How to Steal a Million, Paris When It Sizzles. 7 films, dozens of dresses, each one perfect, each one iconic. They study the little black dress, how it revolutionized fashion, made simplicity desirable, made black dress essential to every woman's wardrobe. Before Audrey and Givenchy, black dress was for mourning, for widows, for funerals. After Audrey and Givenchy, black dress was for elegance, for power, for every occasion. That is impact. That is legacy. They study the shift dress, the A-line silhouette, the bateau neckline, all Givenchy signatures, all worn by Audrey, all copied by designers worldwide, all entering fashion vocabulary permanently. These are not just dresses. These are archetypes, templates, standards, against which all other dresses are measured. They study the relationship between designer and muse. Compare it to other partnerships, Yves Saint Laurent and Catherine Deneuve, Valentino and Elizabeth Taylor, Chanel and various actresses. But Audrey and Givenchy were different. Those other relationships were professional. Beautiful, but professional. Designer dresses actress. Actress promotes designer. Transaction, business. Successful business, but still business. Audrey and Givenchy transcended transaction. They created language together. Visual language. Language of elegance. Language that said, elegance is not wealth, not status, not complication. Elegance is truth, is clarity, is being yourself with confidence. That language changed fashion forever. Changed how women thought about clothes, changed culture, but they missed something. They missed the simple truth. What made it special was recognition. February 1953. Young woman walks into atelier, unknown actress, unknown to designer. But they recognize each other, not famous recognizing famous. Soul recognizing soul, vision recognizing vision. She sees what he wants to create. He sees who she wants to become. That recognition becomes 40 years of partnership, of friendship, of love. Audrey said in 1991 interview 2 years before she died, Givenchy's friendship is one of the treasures of my life. Not because he made me beautiful clothes, because he made me feel understood. In Hollywood, everyone wants something from you. Your image, your fame, your name. Hubert never wanted anything except to dress me in beautiful clothes and be my friend. That is priceless. That is what I will remember when everything else is gone. Givenchy said in 2014 interview at 91 years old. People ask me what my greatest creation was. They expect me to say a dress. The little black dress from Breakfast at Tiffany's, perhaps? But my greatest creation was not a dress. It was a friendship with Audrey. That was my masterpiece. 40 years of mutual respect, mutual understanding, mutual love. No dress can compare to that. The story has lessons about fashion, about partnership, about recognition. But the deepest lesson is this. Sometimes the person you are waiting for is not the person who arrives. Sometimes the door opens and the wrong person walks in. Someone unknown, someone unexpected, someone who looks like nothing you were hoping for. And in that moment, you have a choice. Send them away because they are not what you expected, or look closer. See them, really see them, and discover that wrong person is the right person. That unexpected person is everything. That unknown person is your destiny. February 1953. Givenchy expected Katharine. Audrey walked in. He almost sent her away. Almost said, "No thank you." Almost missed 40 years of joy. But he stopped. He looked. He saw. And that seeing changed 2 lives. Changed fashion. Changed history. Not because Audrey was famous. She was not famous yet. Because recognition is deeper than fame. Deeper than status. Deeper than expectation. Recognition is soul speaking to soul. Vision speaking to vision. Truth speaking to truth. Givenchy saw Audrey. Audrey saw Givenchy. And for 40 years, they created beauty together. Not because they had to. Because they understood each other. Because understanding is rarest gift. Because once you find someone who truly sees you, you hold on. You create. You love. You make art. You make life. You make meaning. That is the legacy. Not the dresses, not the films, not the fame. The legacy is this: when the unexpected person walks through your door, do not send them away. Look closer. See them. You might be looking at your life's greatest partnership, your deepest friendship, your truest love. You might be looking at 40 years of joy. All you have to do is see, really see, and say, "Yes, please sit down. Tell me your story." Because sometimes wrong person is exactly right person. Sometimes unknown is soon to be known. Sometimes the girl who looks like nothing is everything. You just have to stop, look, see, and recognize that what you were waiting for just arrived. In unexpected form, in unknown face, in grace you did not anticipate, but grace nonetheless. Grace you will spend 40 years honoring. Grace you will remember for the rest of your life. Grace named Audrey that February morning in 1953. Givenchy almost said no. Almost closed the door on destiny. Almost missed everything. But he stopped. He looked. He saw. And those 3 seconds of seeing, those 3 seconds of really looking at the unknown girl with the pixie hair and the enormous eyes, those 3 seconds changed everything. Changed fashion. Changed history. Changed 2 lives forever. Remember that when unexpected person arrives. When wrong person walks through your door, stop, look, see. You might be 3 seconds away from 40 years of magic.